stands for active, and that's how my next presentation is. It is Future of Financial Advisory. What will it take for advisors to stay relevant? And that's something related to A of A to Z. Isn't it? Yes or no? Are we all ready for the next presentation? It is presented by Mr. Keval Bhanushali, CEO and co-founder One Finance. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Keval Bhanushali, CEO and founder One Finance, to deliver his presentation on Future of Financial Advisory. What will it take for advisors to stay relevant? I think we all want to learn this. We all want to hear this presentation and share his incisive insights on this topic of timely interest for financial advisors. Mr. Anooj Mehta from One Finance is there on behalf of Mr. Keval Bhanushali. I welcome Mr. Anooj Mehta. Can we have a round of applause for him? And welcome him. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Is this audible enough? Okay, great. Very good morning, everybody. My name is Anuj. I head the partner success at One Finance. Before I proceed with the presentation, One Finance is a personal finance advisory firm that we're building for the middle net worth individuals of India. We define middle net worth individuals as people who have about a financial exposure of somewhere around 15-20 lakh rupees of either asset or liability. What we want to do is help them achieve financial well-being, get them peace of mind with their finances, and help them just fix their finances. We've all been hearing a lot about advisory, fee-based advisory, client-scale financial planning, in the last couple of years. So I just wanted to talk about what is this buzz all about and what does the next 10 years or the future of advisory looks like. Now, when we talk about the future, it has two folds, right? The demand and the supply. Both of them have to meet each other. So what I'm going to talk about is explain what the demand looks like and then where are we in terms of the supply. When you look at the future of the Indian demographics, the research says that 80% of Indian population in the next decade is going to be middle net worth individuals, like I just defined, the MNIs. 60% of Indian population is going to be in the age group of about 20-25 to around 50-55. So the youngest population in the entire world is going to be the Indian population in the next 10 years. This also means that this population is going to be highly employable. More and more opportunities are going to be created for them. People are going to make money. People are going to create wealth. If you see, 140 million households will be added to the middle net worth sector in the next 10 years. If you see, asset holdings of these individuals is going to go up by 70% year on year. So very clearly, of course, there's going to be demand for people to manage their wealth, to create wealth, to plan their finances, right? And that's why if you see almost about $500 million US, at least, up to 2019 have been invested, in InvestTechs, and a lot of have been ongoing. You see a lot of new InvestTech companies, wealth tech companies, and fintech companies coming into the picture because we all understand that this demand exists and it's going to prevail in the next 10 years. Now, we've understood what the demand looks like. The other side of this is the supply. And when we say supply, supply is nothing but the people who will cater to this demand, right? People who will provide financial services to this population in the next 10 years. Now, I would want to divide the supply in two parts. One, people who will newly enter this community of providing financial services, young folks here who are clearing, their CWMs, and other certificates. By the way, congratulations to all the people who, graduate today and have got their, their charters in wealth management. A very exciting world, awaits for you outside. So one part is people like you who will enter the community. And the second part is people who are already a part of the community, providing financial services in any form, either as a, a distributor or a fee-based advisor, RIA, working for a bank or any stockbroker or any financial institution, right? The problem is people who are going to enter this community, well, there's a clear shortage of qualified financial advisors, right? If you see people who are pursuing CFPs, CWMs, and all these charters are upcoming now, people have started taking these certificates, but we need more and more people to come up and take up such certificates because If you go by the SEBI regulation, SEBI recognizes somebody as a qualified advisor to provide financial advice in exchange of a fee is somebody who has a postgraduate degree, at least 2 years of an experience. If you want to be a principal advisor, that's 5 years of experience, and a professional certificate like CWM for that matter. Now, when you look at this population, we have very few people in India who we could categorize somebody as a qualified financial advisor. I'm talking purely from SEBI's point of view. Of course, experience and exposure is something which adds a lot of value there. Why do we feel this is, a shortage? If you compare this to USA, in the US we have more than 1 lakh, registered advisors. Advisors as people who've taken up certificates like CWM and CFPs, catering to population of financial services consumers who are 1/4 in terms of number compared to India. So when you look at the population difference in the next 10 years, when we see more and more people entering the Indian space as middle net worth individuals, we are going to need a lot more qualified financial advisors entering the community. This is for the first half of the supply which I mentioned. We need more people entering the community, right? Now, there are also a lot of people who are already a part of the community providing financial services, as a distributor, as an advisor, working for a bank. What do they have to do to stay relevant in this industry so that they can cater to this demand of the middle net worth individuals? Now, I'm purely talking about middle net worth individuals. Of course, when the middle net worth individuals population is going to go high, of course, HNI is also going to go high. The population that's going to reduce is the lower income, the lower net worth individuals. This is purely about the middle net worth individuals. Of course, the people will have to, service and cater to changing demographics. In the next 10 years, when you are going to cater to clients who will have different needs, different demands, different understanding, the way you work today will also need to change in the next, coming years. Be a part of the innovation. There are going to be more and more products coming in. Technology is going to play a very important role. So if you are not going to be a part of the innovation that happens around you, it's most likely that, it may cause problems in terms of scaling your businesses, right? The financial sector is diversifying. If you look at newer fintech companies coming into picture, companies like Cred, Beshak are changing the face of financial industry today. So, the financial industry is going to expand at a pace that we've not seen before. If you look at it from a customer's point of view, there's going to be overload of information, there's going to be noise, there's going to be a lot of data available everywhere. You open your Instagram, you open your LinkedIn, you open your Twitter, everybody's talking about finance. They call themselves as financial influencers, finfluencers for that matter. Of course, SEBI is working on creating regulations and guidelines around it. But the point that I'm trying to make here is access to information has become extremely easy. You can go online and do a course from Harvard or MIT and pursue education about finance. So the customers that are going to walk into your business are going to be extremely well-informed customers. They're going to have a lot of information and understanding about what the products are, what is happening, what is going on. That doesn't mean clarity. That just means understanding. Where you will play a very important role is helping them seek clarity in terms of what is right for them and what is wrong for them. We all live in this era of instant gratification and FOMO, fear of missing out, right? ठीक है, मेरे friend ने, किसी currency पे, किसी Bitcoin पे invest कर लिया, तो even मेरे को भी invest करना है, सब लोग कर रहे हैं. And the next day, it drops, it falls. It doesn't work that way. We've all been talking a lot about assets, investments, save karo, mutual funds pe dalo, equities pe dalo. But where are those who are talking about liabilities? Managing liabilities is equally important and as important, or maybe more, compared to assets management, right? Everybody's talking about assets. But when you look at liabilities, it's so easy to get a credit card today. It's simple to go on Amazon, buy an extremely expensive electronic item and just pay on zero cost EMI, pay later. Buy now, pay later. So access to funds, access to credit has become extremely easy, and hence people being exposed to liabilities is also going to increase, which means management of liabilities is also going to play a very important role, where people like you will play a very important aspect of helping people guide and advise, because you need an overall financial advisory and planning, not just asset, not just liability, but an overall advice, right? And that is what is going to help you scale your business, because today you cater to 10 clients, but from 10, if you want to start catering to 100 clients, there's going to be a model that's going to be needed by you. And lastly, you will be needing to be part of hyper personalized advisory, because the clients who are going to walk into your business in the next 10 years are going to be people who may not want to pay any commissions. They may not want to work with people who work for targets or are selling, and will very clearly be able to differentiate between mis-selling and honest financial advice. And hence, what can you do, to be on the other side, of the spectrum, is basically help them with the services that they feel is right for them, right? You can understand their financial personality, you can modernize your business methods. The quality of advice that you give can be extremely personalized, meant for them, keeping their demographic in mind, their needs in mind. Get updated and relevant with the newer products coming into the industry, right? This is where, as an organization, One Finance comes into picture. What we are focusing on is helping middle net worth individuals of India with hyper personalized, honest financial advisory, being unbiased. We have a very scientific and a very structured process. When the person comes into the One Finance environment, the first thing that they do is take a money sign, which is an assessment that helps them understand their financial personality, right? Like you have a horoscope, वैसा एक financial personality उनको पता चलता है, which of course is based built upon Ocean's framework. We've had a panel of psychologists who've helped us design this. It's a patent that we've had. It helps you understand what that person really is. It's way beyond just understanding, TK, is that person a high risk taker, low risk taker, medium risk taker, right? You need to know a lot about that person. Once they know what their money sign is, with the help of account aggregator framework, which is going to be the next big thing in the financial industry in India, we aggregate all their financial data from different sources to one place. We've conducted a research, and the research says that average Indian consumer of financial services, they have their finances scattered to, as up to 15 different financial institutions. So imagine if your finances are scattered across, and if you don't have one view of all your finances, any financial decision that you take is most likely going to be an ineffective decision, right? So we start with giving them one view of all their financials, based on which we provide their financial health score, which tells them about how healthy their financials are. Once they understand that, we give them assistance in terms of advice. And then that is the stage where people like you come into picture, because we partner with advisors like you who are independent, because we believe we want to be unbiased. We do not want to showcase ourselves as somebody who's trying to sell something to the clients. you know on the note that I would like to end here is simply, Mr. Shankar very recently, earlier today, he spoke about how technology coming into picture does not, reduce the dependency of human intervention here. And that is what I want to bank here, to give you a very relevance of, how people like you can associate, with One Finance, or with the future of financial advisory. I'm going to take an example of the hospitality industry, hospitals, medicine and doctors. Back in the day, when there were specialized doctors, performing specialized medical treatments, they would all have their own clinics, their own hospitals, and conduct everything within that premise. So that specific doctor was responsible for everything going on in that clinic. The moment the patient enters the hospital, से लेके उनका diagnose करो, test करो, अच्छा ठीक है, अगर operation की ज़रूरत है तो उनको बताओ, उनको hospital में बुलाओ, admit करो, operation की तैयारी करो, operation के पहले fasting करना है, ये दवाई लेना है, vitals check करना है, ये सब करो, and then also, do the operation that they're the masters of. Operation करने के बाद, if the body has been open to operate, stitch it back, monitor, 2 दिन वापस रखो. A lot of things that went into it, right? Now, the doctor was solely responsible for all these things going on. Of course, they had a team. But when this was the case, scaling may be the wrong term that I'm using here, but for the doctor to do better, to serve more patients, was difficult, because they had to be in multiple places at the same time. And then what happens? A multi-speciality hospital comes into the picture. The multi-speciality hospitals tells the doctor that we will give you the technology, we will give you the support, we will give you the resources. We will also have patients ready for the operation. All that you have to focus on is come and do what you know and you are at best, operate and help the patient. Now, suddenly for the doctor, he just has to go to the hospital. The hospital has already taken care of everything. There are a team of doctors who've got the patient on the operation theater, done the vitals check, everything. The doctor comes, does the surgery, and then leaves, and then comes back and checks upon that patient. Now, because this happened, a lot of operational time was saved for the doctor, and hence it was possible for the doctor to treat more and more patients across a period of time. This is what I'm trying to talk to you all about. Today, majority of your time goes behind operational inefficiencies like going to a client, getting an Excel sheet filled up by them, getting all that data. That's a hassle for the client as well, क्योंकि उनको 10 से अलग अलग 10-15 अलग अलग जगहों पे जाना पड़ता है, data लेना पड़ता है, consolidate करके आपको देना पड़ता है. Then you run your analysis, you run all your calculators and then give them a financial plan for them. You tell them, okay, this is what you should do, this is how you should achieve your well-being. Well, so much of time has gone into it. But when, services like this, technology like this comes into picture, it does not reduce your dependency, it only complements and it only helps you perform better. That is what I had for today. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good day.